Hi, here we are for another Clarke auction preview. This time for our April the 27th sale. We have a mound of items here and you should be here. It starts at 12 p.m. on the Sunday. This time I'm going to start with this bronze here. It's actually beautiful, beautiful bronze. Rare for its subject matter, for Chaim Gross. Usually it's sort of the mother with child, but this is what I would call a hammered bronze. Very realistic. You can see there the woman even has a little paunch on her. Maybe he knew her well. Anyway, it's an extra large size. It's titled on the bottom with the old gallery label, as you can see there. This sale we have two pianos, two Steinways. This one is, they're both particularly nice pianos. This is, I believe, a Model O. The board is in good shape. It's a nice mahogany case. I believe it's a Parlour Grand, and this came from a Scarsdale estate. So any of you musical people are looking for a piano, this is definitely the sale to be in. Coming into the main room, Steel, if I'll walk you around quickly because I know Bruce and Keane and Whitney and Neely are going to show you everything else, but we have lots of mid-century once again. We have consoles, lots of mirrors, we have pillars, paintings, sculpture, sofas, micro mosaic tables, we have carpets, we have urns, we have lots of beautiful chandeliers, beautiful marble top Italian furniture, we've nice arts and crafts, we've got tapestries, mirrored tables, even in the back room. Once again, it's full. It amazed me how we managed to do this every 3 weeks in the back room there. Like you can see Andrew wandering around there. We've even got ginormous driftwood sconces. Where else would you find them but at Clarke auction on April the 27th. Of note here, this is a beautiful, beautiful, if you need a fireplace, this is a vintage antique steel, sort of in the Adams style, but unusual to find it with the mirrored top on it. Beautiful, beautiful fireplace, can be painted as you want. We've got Adirondack furniture. We have cash registers. In this sale in particular note, we have a collection of guns. Over here, I'm sorry I'm running around here, Steve, but over here on the sofa, we have what I believe is a Maple Kentucky rifle with a powder horn. Just get a scan over that quickly and then I will get over to the smaller guns. Here in front of it, this is a very large bronze. Came from a White Plains estate and it's by an artist called Bernard Redder. Right here you can see it's called A Woman in a Tree. You can see it there, it's actually in his catalogue. Nice extra big size, nice patinated bronze. We've had this artist before, we quite like him. Doesn't do a huge lot of money, but very, very good. Over here, as you can see, I'm not a big gun person, but we have some very important guns. We've got muskets. We have this beautiful cased gun. These are all brought in by Andrew from a local estate, all fresh to the market. So for all you weapons people, we even have helmets and we've got swords from other estates. Then before we leave, Steve, I'm just going to play a quick tune on this Steinway that came in from another estate. As you can see, it plays wonderfully. I haven't played the piano in a long time, but maybe I'll throw a few tunes together this Sunday for the people arriving at the auction. Anyway, with that, we'll let you go. Oh, forgot to turn that one off, Steve. And thank you, and we'll see you at the auction. I'll hand you over to Bruce.
Thanks, Ron. I'll start with this marble bench, early 20th century Italian, beautifully carved, kind of classical style with a central Bacchus head. And if you'll follow me indoors, Steve, we have a good selection of secondhand furniture, Baker, particularly this Baker sideboard, which is a Cadillac, and it's in showroom condition with bellflower inlay, fan inlay, about as nice a piece of Baker furniture as you're going to find. And on top of it, out of a big estate we got in Hartsdale, I hope they're watching the video, a beautiful pair of 19th century French gilt bronze mounted marble candelabras with little ram's heads and hoof feet. And here in the middle of the room is a beautiful bronze mounted rosewood partner's desk with faux drawers on the other side, terrific quality gilt bronze hardware, sitting on top of a Chinese nickel style carpet, room size carpet. And out of a Southport, Connecticut estate, one of two American Gothic Revival rosewood side chairs. Kind of rare to find this kind of furniture, and something that I particularly like. And out of the same estate, one of two pieces of French Restoration bronze-mounted furniture. This one, a secretary habitant with an unusual, a typical interior, but an unusual fitted interior on the bottom, and very good quality bronze mounts. Above it is an Italian Grand Tour bronze of Narcissus, early 20th century. We have quite a lot of Grand Tour type merchandise in this sale. And here's the other piece from the Southport estate, is this small size restoration commode, marble top commode, bronze mounted with big tall block feet. It's a real nice diminutive size. And from the same house is a wonderful 18th century or early 19th century rose medallion or rose mandarin punch bowl with the family crest. B for Bufford. We'll talk about the Bufford estate from Southport in a little while. And right above it is a beautiful 19th century bronze plaque, signed and dated quite early, 1811. You can look on the website for the artist's signature. And from Hartsdale, we have a lot of group lots, including this big collection of 19th century biscuit jars. Again, you can refer to our website for all the details, the count, the condition, the sizes. And from the same estate, a collection of inkwells, including a pretty rare bicycle for two model. And here a large collection of antique perfume bottles and cologne and scent bottles. A beautiful pair of opaline ones here with little bronze and marble stands. Some Bohemian ones, silver-mounted Bohemian, other Czechoslovakian. Just a nice collection. It took the woman a lifetime to collect this collection. And out of Greenwich, about as nice a quality gilt bronze mounted onyx card receiver, I guess we'll call it. About as nice a quality as you can find. And from the same estate in Greenwich is a Russian bronze of two figures in a troika, signed, and again, you'll find it on our website. From Hartsdale, this whole shelf is one lot of Bohemian, Czechoslovakian glass, covered urns, decanters, a rare little planter, dresser bottles, a very early and beautiful piece of engraved sort of Mosier style glass. Anyway, a large lot. Clocks, nice black marble clocks. And here from Hartsdale is one of a pair of gilt bronze and patinated lamps. They were probably candelabras, but good size, beautiful condition, and ready to go. And here is one of two, not a pair, it's slightly different, palm tree lamps. One is labeled Chapman. This card table is fresh from an estate in Southport, Connecticut, and it's been in the same family for 200 years. It's the Bufford family. And you can read our website to see who the Buffords were in the 18th and 19th century. But anyway, as nice a Massachusetts, probably Massachusetts card table as we've had, in all original and good condition. And as I said, it goes along with this decanter and some family photos inside that envelope. And here, Steve, one of several pieces of paint-decorated Italian furniture, probably early 20th century, in the 18th century style. One of my great items for this sale is a pair of probably early to mid 20th century gilt bronze and cloisonné Chinese censers. They have Qianlong marks on the bottom, which are just faux marks. But nevertheless, there is good a quality, and you'd rarely find a pair of 18th century censers in this condition and completeness. So we're happy to have what we have. And here an antique English Georgian oyster wood, heavily inlaid oyster wood bracket foot chest. And from Greenwich, Steve, one of a pair of 19th century bronze mounted Louis XV style. Originally they were probably cassolettes, mantle garnitures, and now they've been made into useful lamps, but really nice quality. And here another piece of paint decorated furniture with sort of faux malachite and these Pompeian style figures, and it's all marbleized. The beautiful and gilded, a beautiful decorated cabinet or armoire. And I think from the same estate, Ron got this stuff, so I'm not quite sure. A Venetian style paint decorated table with a marble top. A big, beautiful dining room table, early 20th century. And from Greenwich, another turn of the century piece of furniture, French, gilded, beautifully done, all carved with this interlaced ribbon work. And I'm standing on top of another Nichols style carpet, Chinese, 1940s or so. We have a pretty good selection of both Persian carpets in room size and scatter size throughout the gallery today. And here, about the biggest piece of Bjorn Windblatt sign that I've seen. I guess it's a planter of some kind, or a cistern, but a beautiful piece of Bjorn Windblatt. And here in the back room, an 18th century French country armoire. Very nice patina on this one in original condition. And just in yesterday, one of two pieces of 17th century Italian furniture. The drawers have been rebuilt. It might have had a few alterations, but pretty hard to find 17th century Italian Renaissance furniture. And the other piece is this little lift top desk over here. The only thing I saw was that it's missing its original lock here, but the rest of it is all original. And behind it, a wonderfully painted Eastern European cabinet, probably originally was a pie safe or a dry goods cabinet. The paint is dated 1922. It's got birds on the sides. And we know this came from the original family, and they brought it over from maybe Czechoslovakia, I think. And here are two pieces of campaign furniture, sort of a ball foot chest and a two-part chest on chest here with a little, I guess, manufacturer's plaque here, a little inset brass plaque. This one's oak, and this one looks to be camphor wood. And here a suite of old hickory style furniture, vintage. It's 3 chairs and a double back settee over there, if you can see that, Steve. And one of my favorite things in this sale is this 19th century, it's an iron shooting gallery target, and you can see it's nearly life size. It has mechanical gears on the back. This is all original paint. And you can see the details on our website, but quite a great piece of folk art. And here another antique Georgian style sideboard, Benchmade, turn of the century. And from our Southport estate is this ship diorama in a faux tortoise frame with original paint and mirrors inside, in really a remarkable state of preservation. And here is a Criterion disc music box with quite a lot of discs in here in working condition. It's been painted, but it should be easily strippable on the original stand. And from Greenwich, a nice little bronze mounted, very high quality bronze work on this marble top table, and another little French stand here with bronze ormolu and parquetry top. And from Hartsdale, this is one of two. These bronze sculptures of, I guess, a gazelle or antelope skull by a woman named Olga Clarke Weinberg. One is dated 1979, the other one is dated 1981. I'll show you the other skull in just a moment. And that would be here. And note that they used real, I assume, horse teeth for the teeth on this model. And they come with these custom marbleized stands. A nice antique Chinese portrait of two couples. Here we have Majolica teapots. We have a big teapot collection, actually. And you can see the details on our website, but here's being sold as one lot, three teapots with monkey handles. I guess these are probably George Jones. They both have a little bit of as-is on them, and then this drum form is in perfect condition. I did want to take a minute. I think these are real antique ones, beyond 19th century, a matched pair of these gilded brackets, probably French. And from Hartford, really a rare pair of Paris porcelain cornucopia vases with eagle heads. They must have been manufactured for export to the United States. And I would say really a rare survivor in excellent condition. And from Hartsdale, a lot of 3 Majolica square jardinières, 2 brass-mounted, a nice collection of cut glass silver cologne bottles, dresser bottles, dresser jars. And from an estate in Ossining, a pretty nice piece of Chinese porcelain, celadon, with cigar handles, they call them. Unfortunately, it's been drilled through the mark, but I think there's enough of a mark there to make it out for a researcher. And from the same estate, 2 hat stands. This one is a particularly nice one, also signed and wax seal marked. Most of the Chinese in this cabinet is from that estate. Here's a big lot of jade, including these foo dogs. And this lot actually comes with a bowl that's for safekeeping in this other cabinet over here. And Steve, if you can see through the glass here, a beautiful little antique Chinese enamel decorated vase with deer handles. The antlers are as is, but that's also signed, and you can see that on our website. More Chinese and Japanese lots here. Nice little blue and white bottles and a helmet vase. A nice lot of Chinese ceramics. And from Hartsdale, I could go on, but really nice inkwells. This is 2 in 1 lot, 19th century, little children or cherubs pulling in a fishing net. Several nice dresser boxes, 2 opaline ones, 1 green, 1 blue, and a nice, probably French, oversized dresser box here with the amber panels, and a matched pair of these Bohemian, I guess, tazas with etched glass tops and figural stands. A nice collection of Grand Tour stuff, as I mentioned early in the video. This is all being sold as 1 lot, including, this is a copy of a Roman head, of course, but it's a good decorative, generous lot. Antique door stops. That's 1 lot of baskets of flowers. And on that note, I'll turn it over to Nelia Moore, who will take you through and look at some of the paintings and artwork in our upcoming sale. We hope to see you at 12 o'clock Sunday, April 27. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bruce. There are so many things I want to talk about today, but I'm going to have to try to keep it short and sweet. The first piece I'm going to discuss is this nice long vertical oil on canvas by David Reed. This was painted in 1982. Reed is an American artist born in California, active in New York, shows a lot in Germany, contemporary painter. So still active, still working, and creating a little bit different than this now. This was kind of in his colorist period. He's moved on to do a little bit more with textures, but an early work here comes from a corporate collection. So we actually have 32 pieces that came out of a corporate collection that's been in storage for at least 5, maybe a little bit longer, 5 years. And this is just one nice example. This is estimated at $4,000 to $6,000. So as we walk along, you can see behind me a Robert and Deanna silk screen, but I'm not going to talk about that. Up here, now this is from a house in Rye. This is by a Polish artist, painted in 1965 or 1966. The artist is Zdzisław Salaberski. And I love this painting. This is one of 2 by the artist. This one is called The Web of Life. And it's got a very heavy texture. It may be a mixed media, I'm not sure. Or the paint pigment was applied using an interesting technique where it's kind of these swirling worm-like texture across the canvas. This one, 1966, nice big inscription on the back of it. And the other one is just across the way. I'll try to show you quickly. Down below is another pair of paintings. We're moving back to the 19th century. This is by Giuseppe Candida, Italian, painted in 1852. We have 2 here, both with the Italian architectural scenes. The other one is just across the way, which I'll show you now. Here again in this one, another Italian painting, and they're both signed. These come from a Bronx home, estimated at $3,000 to $5,000. And up above, if we can show, this is just the other Zdzisław Salaberski, this one called Struggle. And this one's just quite beautiful. We have some, what looks like woven string in the middle, painted over. Again, a heavy impasto. It looks like the paint may have been squirted directly out of the tube and applied. Nice inscription on the back of this one as well. Each of the Zalaberskis are estimated at $600 to $900. Then I'll discuss this nice large acrylic on canvas. If you can believe it, this is an acrylic painting. This is by Jerry Ott, another contemporary American painter. Nice gallery label on the back. And he's known for his photorealistic works. And as you can see here, this is quite realistic. I think it's just absolutely stunning. It is a nice flat, even surface. It really does look like a photograph, even up close. It's not just the video. He applies it with a spray technique, so there are no evidence of brush strokes. But it's beautiful work. This is estimated at $800 to $1,200. From the same Rye, New York collection as the Polish Zalaberski paintings comes this Ellsworth Kelly that's up above my head. This is a nice silk screen. It's blue, yellow, and red, kind of an untitled work, but has that as a title momentarily. This is from an edition of 100, pencil signature here, nice full margins, nice and colorful, still very vivid, nice strong impression. This estimated at $1,000 to $1,500. And then just down here to my left, we have a lithograph by Archipenko. And this also estimated at $1,000 to $1,500, comes from a White Plains home. This comes out of a portfolio, so we have the portfolio blind stamp down in the lower corner, mounted at the top edges, but again, also nice full margins with deckled edges. Then the next work I'm going to talk about is just across the hall. This comes from the same collection, and it's this photograph up here by Walker Evans. And Walker Evans was known for his Depression era photographs, really being able to capture the time, kind of capture a nice piece of history here. This series was called New York City Posed Portraits and originally was taken in 1931. I believe this may be a later printing, but I couldn't say for sure. We may take it out of the frame for some prospective buyers. This estimated at $1,000 to $1,500. And also from the same collection down below is this wonderful Joan Miro lithograph. What's special about this piece is it's actually got a dedication down here to Dorothea Fanning and Max Ernst. Fanning was Ernst's wife at the time, and you've got the nice hand-signed Miro down below. We've got a little bit of time staining and discoloration here, but I think it's really interesting. I think that the inscription and dedication really should help this fly. Also with $1,000 to $1,500 auction estimate. From the same home as the Gerriat and the Bjorn Winblatt planter that Bruce probably showed you comes this very large oil on canvas. This is a Japanese street scene. It is signed and dated 1961 down in the lower corner here. Unfortunately, we have not been able to make out the artist's name, so I hope that somebody will look at this online and be able to decipher it. It's signed in both Japanese and English letters, but I just wanted you to see the scale of it here because it is really quite large and quite interesting and from a good period, estimated at 600 to 900. This nice early portrait here, possibly 19th century or earlier, is attributed to Sir Godfrey Kneller. We say that because we've actually found a partial label on the back. It probably was purchased at Christie's or Sotheby's, maybe in the 60s or 70s. We know that the collector was actively buying at the time. You've got the man in the suit of armor here, the inventory number up top. This estimated at 600 to 900. The White Plains collection that had many of the other modern pieces I showed you, the Miro, etc., also had this work up here, this nice early Italian modern piece. This is an oil on a wood panel. This is by Gustavo Foppiani, Italian, 1961, I believe. There is an Italian title on the back of it. I think a really nice painting, estimated at 800 to 1200. As we're walking along, I just want to show you the extent of the corporate art collection we had. So everything here on this wall that we see came out of the storage unit. We have a pair of pieces by Ford Krull, and they're enamel on canvas. We've got these nice abstract smaller works. This one here I think is quite nice, called Manhattan, 2 parking spaces for Manhattan. So there's quite a bit here, but you really do have to look in the catalog. I just want you to see some of these are quite large. It's a lot of painting for not a lot of money, so it's really worth taking a good look at. If you follow our auctions, you may remember an Edvard Munch aquatint that we sold over a year ago. This comes from the same home, and it's actually the estate of the mezzo-soprano singer Betty Allen. This is an oil painting by Theodore Fried called Climbing. This was painted in 1945. I think it's really quite sweet. On the back, there's actually hand-painted inscriptions by the artist that describes the exhibition history of this work. So that's nice. You can check that out on the website. And from that same home, we actually have a portrait of Betty Allen. Now, Betty Allen's husband did tell us about this portrait. This is by a painter called Irving Katzenstein, and he was a New York artist, not very well listed, but we just thought this was so wonderful. He said Betty Allen was just a lighthearted, whimsical spirit, and this captures her spirit very much so. She just picked up a broom and started playing it like a cello, and the artist captured her so beautifully here. So this we're offering with an $800 to $1,000 estimate. And then back to the corporate art collection is this large work up here. This is by Roberto Juarez. And Juarez, also contemporary painter, still active, still painting. This was done in 1981 in New York City. A nice inscription on the back tells us he called it 2 cups, as you can see here. But he also had a playful way, or still has a playful way of painting. You can see he does a lot of these floral pieces, nice bright with the eyes and the coffee cups. This is offered with a $2,000 to $3,000 estimate. We have several early portraits of note in this auction, as you have already seen before in the main room. This one here I want to talk about. This is by J.G. Morzer, an Austrian artist. This is one of a pair. Here we have the male portrait. And just across the way, we have the female portrait, the woman sitting with her dog. These are said to be created in 1760. They have been fully restored, so they look a little bit newer, and they've been well taken care of, but nice portraits nonetheless. These offered with an estimate of $1,000 to $1,500. The other set of portraits I want to talk about are just up here above my head. We believe these to be by Gerhard Nolan. Nolan was a Dutch painter who emigrated to the United States, to Iowa actually, in the 1850s. These were created in 1859. This one here, we have the mother with the child, and across the way we have the portrait of the father. Beautiful paintings. They're so delicately rendered. I think the way the skin is handled is just really quite marvelous. Gerhard Nolan is not very well documented. He's very well documented only in Iowa, but no auction records. But we have these conservatively estimated at $800 to $1,200. They appear to be in good original condition, and I just think they're lovely. The last pieces I'm going to talk about are also from our contemporary corporate collection, just above my head here. So the first one, this nice colorful geometric piece, abstract, is by Doug Olson. This one, I believe, estimated at $1,000 to $1,500. Just needs a little bit of cleaning and those colors will really pop. It's hard to see, unfortunately, against our orange wall, but it's really a nice bright piece. And just next to it, we have a work by Mark Schlesinger. And this piece here, also 1980s, and I just think it's so great. He's kind of put the colors together in an almost like mosaic-like pattern, and it's created a nice vibrant consistency across the canvas. So I think it's just really nice, estimated, I believe, at $800 to $1,200. So that's just a very small taste of what's to come. We hope to see you on Sunday, and now Keen will take over with the mid-century. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Neely. We got a great selection of mid-century once again for April 27th, and I'll start right here with one of my favorite pieces in the sale, an unsigned but marked made in Colombia, which signifies it probably is Carl Springer, somewhat tessellated, lacquered coffee table. What's really nice about this piece, for me at least, although there is some slight lifting and some lacquer issues on the top, it has a very wild look, almost like an animal skin. It kind of reminds me of alligator when I see that. I really like this piece, great size. And moving along, this is another piece that came from the same estate, a horn tessellated, also in the same vein of furniture design. Okay, so behind that is a more traditional, what you would think of as Danish modern. This is actually American, but in a Danish modern style. This will be sold with this other set to my right, table, which has a nice subtle banding on the outside, a nice kind of oblong shape, and wider at the center. It has a few leaves that fold out from the center. 4 side chairs, 2 armchairs that I just showed you, in the style of Harry Ostergaard, but it is unsigned, no Danish control label, so I think it is American. Also in a set is this nice, and you've probably seen this here before, nice set of Dorothy Draper furniture, 1 long chest, 2 smaller side chests, and there is a nightstand floating around here somewhere. I'll get to that in a second. Oh yeah, it's right over here. Right behind that, there's the nightstand. Right over here, Steve, is a beautiful, beautiful table. Brown, dark banding to the outside, very subtle. They were lacquered over this nice brass inlay, rosewood center. And if you take a look at the base, that is a very important part of this table because it does show that it is a Kagan style table. I do not believe that it is Kagan, but you know, I've been known to be wrong in the past. And it has all the signs of a very well-made, very specially designed table, and I think it will do very well regardless of the Kagan signature or not. Kind of outside my realm, it might not be mid-century, but I just think they're really cool. And I know PETA is probably not too happy about these, but there are genuine turtle shell lamps, kind of just on a simple industrial base. Very nice, very tropical, and just a really cool pair of lamps that I think are really cool. Okay, so back to the mid-century. Here is a George Nelson for Herman Miller, credenza, 2-door with the shelf interior, 4-drawer. Just a little polish on the handles here will do pretty well. It has the flat wood feet on that extend to the back as well. A little rough, might need to be refinished, but it's a great form for the Herman Miller. So here's a second George Nelson for Herman Miller credenza. This one with 4-drawer and 1-door from the same estate as the last one I just showed you. Nice silver tags on the inside of the drawers to each of these pieces. This one has the same legs, unpainted, slightly different finish on this. Probably the same condition, a few abrasions, a few scratches, but I think a refinishing will do this piece a lot of justice, make it the beautiful piece that it was originally. This is also one of my favorite pieces in the sale, unidentified, but it has a great 80s look, which seems to be coming in more fashion these days. It's a nice griffin, almost Asian form, kind of a mixture of elements in this. A nice lacquer, full marble painted, nice thick glass top. It's just a pretty sleek piece, nice and cool. Speaking of cool, these 2 pieces that I'll show you now, the Florence Knoll style 3-seat sofa with chrome base, and a nice clean vinyl upholstery on that, and this love seat in the same style, So both have chrome bases. I have the same New Rochelle estate as two Harvey Prober leather lounge chairs that I'll show you in a second. Actually, I'll show you them right now. They're right here. And they have the nice flat bar, thinner than the Milo Ballmans that have become pretty popular in recent years, but a nice tufted leather upholstery to that. The arm rests are still there, which is a good sign, unmarked, but unmistakably in the of Harvey Prober design. From the same estate as well as the couches and the chairs I just showed you is a nice Paul Mayan chrome stacked coffee table. I suppose you could put it either way, but this is definitely the more popular way to suit the table. Nice chrome flat bar construction that matches both the chairs that I just showed you and the sofas. So it all kind of ties together. 1, 2, 3, 4 shades will also be in a lot with a table with, a floor lamp that you can see in the end, and a small table lamp that also has a globe shade, but that table lamp has an acrylic shade. These are all frosted glass. This one on the end you might want to focus on, Steve. It's particularly nice with the Lightelier tag on the inside. There's also a perforated brass cap on the top and etched longitudinal and latitude lines etched into it with a very nice detail and a brass cap on the bottom. It's a very nice shade. Also from Knoll is a Warren Platner coffee table, nice marble top, original base. Needs a little bit of a shine, but in original condition, no dents or bends or dings to that. So good original condition as well. These are a set of 1 of 4 white upholstered and walnut base swivel chairs by Milo Ballman. Very nice chairs. These are pretty rare. You don't see these on the market too often, and we're glad to have a set of 4. Just as we're glad to have a set of 2 of these nice vintage mid-century Asian style chairs, brass chairs, obviously a little tarnished, a little dulled, needs to be reupholstered, but they all do have the original made in Italy sticker underneath, which would lead me to believe that they are probably Mastercraft. These are nice low chairs, lounge chairs in the Asian modern style that is also becoming pretty popular. So all of these items are just a small example of some of the really cool mid-century that we have coming up on April 27th, and I hope to see everyone there. And I'll shoot you now to Whitney for the silver and jewelry. Thank you.
Thank you, Keen. I'm pleased to present a selection of jewelry in sterling for our April 27th auction, beginning with this Russian silver icon. It is marked 84 with a city mark of Moscow, along with the assayer's master's mark, along with a maker's mark, with this nice blue enamel plaque. Starting our selection of jewelry, we have this 14 karat and carved coral floral brooch, followed by this diamond ring of approximately 70 points with this insert enhancer ring, if you can see how it just fits perfectly in there, a nice lot together. And here we have a selection from a local Westchester estate of custom-made jewelry. So this is a contemporary 14 karat yellow gold pendant with a approximately 70 point central diamond, followed by this 14 karat yellow gold and diamond ring. A really interesting piece here is this 14 karat yellow gold pendant with diamonds and a crystal boulder opal. And here's a modernist fire agate center stone in a 14 karat gold yellow gold setting. And last but not least from this estate is a 18 karat yellow gold pendant with 2 opals and 3 emerald cabochons. From a Hartsdale estate, we have this 14 karat yellow gold intertwined snake form ring with a central amethyst flanked by 2 pearls. And here is this beautiful platinum diamond and sapphire bracelet. Really quite nice look to this, estimate of $3,000 to $5,000. And one of our men's watches in this auction is this Lucien Picard Sea Shark watch. It is 14 karat yellow gold. And another 14 karat yellow gold piece in this auction is this bracelet here with a central sapphire flanked by 2 diamonds. A nice look to this. And here we have an antique diamond ring, really quite beautiful, from the same estate as our more contemporary custom pieces. And here another men's watch is this Cartier watch. A beautiful piece here in 18 karat yellow gold. And from the same estate are 2 pair of Cartier cufflinks, if you can see them here. And moving on to one of our flatware sets, this is actually in stainless steel, and it's by A. Mickelson, designed by Arnie Jacobson. A really nice set here. Really different look to all of these pieces. Another flatware set that we have in this auction is a Wallace Sir Christopher large flatware set in a fitted box on stand. And moving on to a lot of Judaica, it's all these items here, a grouping of 7 Kiddush cups, a candlestick, 2 liquor tags, and this very interesting Torah pointer or yad, which is inscribed and dated 1881. And from an Ossining estate, we have this beautiful Fabergé Silver Mountain compote or taza, made of jade with a diamond encrusted around the outer diameter. A really beautiful piece in this auction. Moving on to some more Russian items in this auction, we do have this beautiful Russian ladle with a city mark of Odessa and an unidentified maker's mark. A small Russian creamer with all the identifying marks on the bottom and a nice ivory handle. 2 pieces together in this auction is this beautiful Russian cup with a figural etched design on either side, along with this cut crystal and silver mount here with the nice wreath design to the handles. And from the same estate is this beautiful Russian silver covered cup. It does have a replaced finial, and all of the identifying marks can be viewed on our website. From a local Ossining estate is this hollowware grouping of 2 Tiffany candlesticks, a larger Tiffany footed bowl, and a shell form bowl, along with this nice little leaf tray. And from one of our Walk-in Wednesday days, we have this beautiful Tiffany & Company tea set here, 5 pieces, dated between 1854 and 1870, designed by John C. Moore. It is a really beautiful grouping in this auction. And that about wraps it up for my section, and we hope to see you on April 27th. Thank you.